let's do a practice. I'll start with something called the three center check-in. That's the mindfulness piece. The three centers are what's going on with the body, what's going on with the mind, and what's going on with your emotions. And then we'll move into the self-compassion break, which, if you recall from last semester, is simply a way of reminding ourselves that, although we are all caring people, we somehow exclude ourselves from that circle of care, and we can relearn how to include ourselves in that circle of care as part of just taking care of ourselves in the moment. So I'll invite you to get into whatever position works for you. And you're probably not in a place where you can lie down, but I always invite people to do that or stand up. Please realize mindfulness and meditation is not about being frozen in position. I often find myself gently rocking, so feel free to be moving in some way. And your eyes can be open or closed, really whatever supports you. Okay, and yeah, feel free to turn your cameras off. Just really, this is not my time, it's your time. So whatever you need to do to allow yourself these few moments of self-care. And I like to start with a few deep breaths. They're really powerful because they activate the calming part of our nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system. But you got to be conscious about it. So pay attention to that big deep breath. Really feel it, fill your chest. Maybe feel it spreading out into your arms and legs, maybe a little pause, and then long, slow exhalation. That exhalation is the downward motion, the softening, and let it do that for you. Let it soften through the neck and torso and legs. So again, maybe one more time. Don't do it fast so you don't hyperventilate. Just feeling that big deep breath, long, slow release. And then letting the breath return to normal. And the first center we check in with is the body. Similar to what we just did, but let's be a little more intentional about it. So go ahead and maybe sense down into your feet. By doing this, we're allowing our mind to begin to explore something it doesn't usually pay attention to. And if you have difficulties with your feet, pain or discomfort, feel free to switch to a different area, or also know you have control over this. You can bail out of this practice at any point. But what we're doing here is we're asking our mind to pay attention to our feet, maybe the pressure of your feet on the floor, and feel free to wiggle your toes if you want, maybe the temperature down there, maybe any moisture, the feeling of your toes and feet against your socks or shoes. And of course, what's happening is your mind is already jumping in. I mean, it's difficult to do these practices in the middle of a busy day. There's so many things our mind wants to pay attention to. So this is the meditation part. See if you can just label that busy mind as thinking. Okay, just by labeling it, you get a little space around it. And remember, it may not quiet down. But if you just label that and intentionally bring your attention back to your feet, you're practicing that skill of gathering your focus and releasing yourself from being hooked by thoughts. So just keep doing that as we go through this practice. Now I'll invite you to bring your attention to your legs. Okay, everything from the being seated on the chair to all the way down to the ankles, just sensing into your legs. The first thing is notice if there's tightness there. These are some of the biggest muscles. They're used to being busy, but sometimes the body can store some tension there that doesn't need to be there. So the invitation is to soften that, to see if you can let gravity take over for your legs. Oftentimes they're just a little bit on edge, so just soften that, easing into that. And then maybe noticing the sensations that are here, perhaps your skin against your clothes, the pressure of one leg against the other. And remember, part of this practice now is just noticing what the mind is doing. This is an extended practice. So we're taking advantage of this to practice the meditation aspect, which is to notice your mind's thinking and just say, yeah, thank you. Thank you, mind. We will attend to that. But now we're going to practice gathering our attention and coming back to our legs. And let's bring our awareness up into the abdomen and lower back. Okay, recognizing that this can be a charged area. So again, do not feel like you have to focus on these areas, but also recognize if there is some tightness or discomfort, this is a chance to soften that. Okay, and again, feel free to shift and move. We're not locked into position, but just notice the abdomen is often tighter than it needs to be. So just letting it ease. It's not about, forcing yourself to breathe through the abdomen or anything like that. It's just noticing tension that doesn't need to be there, that wants to be released. And same with the lower back. Again, if we have issues with, stomach medical problems or body image or low back pain, this is a chance to see if we can greet these areas with a little bit of kindness and awareness. Just softening and easing. Just labeling thinking as it comes up and just coming back. You can begin to feel the beginnings of the breath down here, right? Rising and falling of the abdomen, maybe even a gentle rocking motion with the breath. Just see if you can maybe just enjoy that gentle shift, that gentle rocking motion. And then I'll have you bring your awareness up and into the chest. Okay, again, we can definitely start to feel the breath here. Again, first noticing if there's tension, tension around the chest that doesn't need to be there. Adjusting your posture as you need to. Be feeling the cool air coming in, the warm air going out. And not trying to have some sort of transcendent experience here. We're really trying to let go of any idea of making something happen, of getting some calm. Just see if you can give up any sense of struggling to make something occur, and just noticing the breath. And gently noticing when the mind jumps in with thinking. It's like the mind says there are thoughts that have to be thought here. So maybe just a gentle inner smile. Yeah, okay, we will get to those thoughts. And just coming back to the breath in the chest. Then I'll have you move your awareness up to the neck and shoulders. Okay, these parts of our body work hard enough just supporting our arms and our head, but this is where the tension often lies. So see what it's like to really peel that tension off in layers. Just softening and easing. Maybe allowing the breath to be like an internal massage, the rising and falling of the breath, like the rising and falling of a gentle tide, just easing with each exhalation. You can even verbalize here, like maybe a gentle ah with the exhalation. Just let that ah, that vibration go from your throat into the neck and the shoulders. And then coming up into the jaw, another place where we often store tension. And I'll remind you, it's not about letting your mouth hang open slack. It's more about, is there more tightness in the jaw than needs to be there? And only you can answer that. Maybe moving the lower jaw around, seeing if there's more tension than needs to be there, just to hold your mouth gently closed. Then up into the muscles around the face, particularly around the eyes. And again, another place where the tightness occurs, maybe raising and lowering the brow, just softening and easing. And that was kind of an extensive check-in with the body. You can do that faster, but the 3-center check-in then invites us to see what our mind is doing. Okay. And this simple task is just about, is the mind busy or is it calm? If you want to get specific, oh, my mind's worrying, it's planning, that's fine. But just noticing what the mind is doing allows you to practice having a little bit of space around those thoughts. So without commenting, without judging, is it busy or is it calm? Yeah, well, that's here. And then finally, the 3rd center is emotions. Maybe even getting curious about how you ask yourself that question. What emotion is here? Often we answer by checking into the body. And we'll have a choice point in this practice here. Okay, if you're finding that, yeah, things are maybe some pleasantness here, maybe some ease, or even just neutral, just sit with that. What is that like? What does it feel like? We spend so much time struggling with our difficult emotions, we forget there can be moments of relative ease. So just savoring that without clinging to it. But if there are some difficulties here, maybe worrying about the afternoon interactions, well, this is where we bring in that connection piece with the resourcing, okay? And I'll start with simply what we call a self-compassion break, which is first just acknowledging that difficulties are here and just repeating to yourself, yeah, this is hard. Just saying in your mind, this is tough. This is a moment of suffering here. No matter how tiny it is, it's your suffering. It counts. You matter. So just validating yourself, acknowledging that difficulties are here. And then in self-compassion, we often talk about common humanity, the idea that, we're not alone. When we feel bad, we start to feel like we're alone, we're broken. So just remember that whatever it is you're feeling, if it's difficult, it's shared by all of us. We all are there to support you. We all experience this. Maybe just saying, yeah, I'm not alone. I'm not alone here, and I'm not weak, and I'm not broken for feeling this way. Just again, just being kind to yourself. And that's the final part of the self-compassion break, just offering yourself some kindness. And often it's a physical gesture, perhaps a hand over the heart, maybe clasping your hands. Maybe you're drawn to put your hands in prayer position, or even a hand on your arm or shoulder, just something to let yourself know that you care, the care that you so readily offer others with your hands. See if your body can sense that being returned to you. And then just simply words of kindness. Whatever you need to hear right now to support yourself. Maybe it's something like, yeah, I'm here for you. Or may I be kind to myself. Or may I just accept myself as I am. Sometimes it's hard. Our training goes deep to not care for ourselves, to think of others first. So if you're having trouble coming up with words, just imagine a dear friend is holding this difficult emotion that you're working with right now. What would you say to this dear friend? What words would you offer to let them know you care about them? And then simply offering those words to yourself. Letting the words soak in like your favorite tea soaking into hot water, just spreading out. And finally, in addition to self-kindness, we can bring in that connection piece. If it feels right, maybe this is a moment where you can bring to mind the people or beings that are important to you. Maybe one, maybe a group. Just people that make you smile, or pets. Just you're glad they're in your life. What you're doing here is you're resourcing yourself with your awareness of your connection to others. Or perhaps a prayer, a sense of your higher power. Just allowing yourself to feel supported by yourself, but also supported by everything that's important to you. And then maybe taking a deep breath and releasing that practice. Yeah, stretch, twist, whatever you